We're standing in the corner of Southeast 3rd Avenue and Broward Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, so in Broward County. If anybody is out here and you can drive by and honk, please do so. Yes. So we're standing in this corner. As you can see, it's downtown Fort Lauderdale, you know, where all the office buildings are and everything. And we're up here holding signs that basically says Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned in disgrace because she's corrupt. We're getting tons of love and support, like I said, from our working class people. And then, you know, so we're holding up signs about how ethics matter and honesty matters. One person, one vote. We have our shrine down there to Sean Lucas. So we're standing in the corner just waiting for the lawyer to come out. And Graham will let us know who the lawyer is because I only saw him from behind. But is that him right there with the backpack? With the bag not right there, look.
Yeah, he's got the shoulder bag.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to him, guys. What's his name? Jared Beck. Mr. Beck. Mr. Beck. Hello. They won't let me up the steps, so I'm gonna have to wait, you guys. But hello. They won't let me up the stairs with my camera.
Yeah.
They won't let me up the steps with my camera. Are you with Mr. Beck's team? Oh, you're Mr. Beck? Oh, that's Mr. Beck. Can I speak? Can he talk to us for a minute? Hello? I'll come around that way because they're going to kick me out. Okay, guys, I'm going to go around. I got to go that way because they're going to kick me out. So, okay, I'm going to catch him on this side. Oh, the moment we've all been waiting for, guy. Well, we closed the banner, but hello. Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. You guys have had a really long morning. I appreciate your time.
I'm sorry, who are you with?
I'm with VIVA BERNIE. I'm just an activist and a blogger. How are you?
Jared Beck. Nice
Thank you, Jared Beck. By the way, thank you so much for what you did in there today. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening? Can you give all of our Bernie supporters some feedback? Thank you.
Absolutely. So today we had an evidentiary hearing that the court ordered in response to the defendant's motion to quash process, or motion to dismiss based on insufficient service of process. The court took live testimony from our main witness, Ricardo Villalba, who is the independent videographer that filmed the actual service of process with Sean Lucas that was affected at the DNC's headquarters on July 1st. So Ricardo was there and he testified, and the court took the video into evidence along with some other documents. The counsel had argument on the issues, and there's going to be a small amount of post-hearing briefing, and then we expect the court to issue a ruling.
Okay, and the ruling would be whether this moves forward or it stops here, right? Basically, that's what the ruling would be.
Well, I would say that the ruling is limited to the issues that the defendant brought up in their motion.
Okay.
And so, really, the only issue that's before the court at this
time
point is whether this particular service of process was effective under the rules of civil procedure.
Okay, and if you could just give a little bit of background about this case to our fellow Berners that are, Bernie supporters that are on this page, that of course want to be a part of this process and are of course basically the defendants of this process. What happened? What is this lawsuit really about? What is the meat and potatoes of it?
Yes, so this case was filed originally after and based on documents that were released by Future for 2.0 on the WordPress blog, and that was several months ago. Of course, since that time, WikiLeaks has released a substantial amount of documents, and other documents have come out into the public. But the basic premise of the lawsuit is this, that the Democratic Party, and specifically the Democratic National Committee, which is the organization that runs the Democratic Party, had an obligation under its own charter to conduct the primary process in a fair and impartial manner.
Okay.
And what that means is that under the charter, and as Debbie Wasserman Schultz said repeatedly in public, the Democratic Party has to be neutral with respect to all of the candidates. So that means that at the time of the primary, when Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton and Martin O'Malley and other candidates were vying for the nomination, the Democratic Party was not supposed to pick sides. It was just supposed to run a fair competition, so to speak, for all the public have shown, and we believe we have substantial evidence to show in court, is that the actual conduct of the Democratic Party was not neutral and impartial. And in fact, the Democratic Party was picking sides, and in fact, it was picking sides for Hillary Clinton from the beginning. And so we've pled legal claims on the basis of these allegations and facts, which state claims, we believe, for fraud, misrepresentation, breach of fiduciary duty, deceptive conduct, and other claims, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get relief for all of the individuals that we believe were harmed by the DNC's conduct.
Okay, and for those of us that aren't lawyers and don't understand, legalese, in many countries, we've seen that people that do these kinds of things are incarcerated, even in FIFA, at a soccer. If they're not impartial and they show favoritism, it's fraudulent to the point where it's considered election fraud. Why in the United States is this not election fraud, and what can we do to change that law?
Well, it's a good question. I will say this: my legal practice is devoted exclusively to civil litigation.
Okay.
And the civil litigation part of our legal system does not deal with crimes, but it deals with torts. And so this proceeding, we think it's a very important proceeding, because what we are seeking to do is to hold the DNC accountable and hold Debbie Wasserman Schultz accountable under the remedies that the civil law provides. And so the civil law provides in cases such as fraud and negligent misrepresentation, breach of fiduciary duty, the claims we pled, it provides for damages remedies, and it also provides for equitable remedies, and that's what we're asking the court to grant in this case based on the allegations that we hope to prove. Now, we do have a criminal system. There are criminal statutes that may or may not be in play.
Okay.
And, that's just a separate part of the legal system.
Got it.
And, we're going to focus on what we're doing here, and that's not to say, there could be other proceedings and other
ramifications.
Parts. Sure. Yeah. But, that's for other people to take a look at. And so we're just focused on the civil aspect of the litigation in this particular case.
And can you share with our audience just two more questions? I know you're very busy. Thank you for taking the time. One question is, how did you get involved in this case? And the other question is, how can people help? Because, people that are all over the country want to support us in this effort in South Florida. So what can people do, and how did you get involved in the case?
We got involved because we got hired by hundreds and hundreds and now even thousands of people that after the primaries happened and after all of these documents came out that we have from WikiLeaks and other sources, they came to us and said, this process, we don't believe this was a fair process, and we want to bring claims as representative plaintiffs against the DNC and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And so we've been retained by so many people from around the country. I mean, it's been an amazing outpouring of support. I mean, at one point I was getting literally 10 emails a second, or a minute, I should say, which is, my email box actually, broke down for a little while because we were getting that much support from all around the country. Some people had donated thousands of dollars and really put a lot of resources into Bernie Sanders. Others had donated, $27 or less, and, we're talking about unemployed folks, homeless folks. They really scraped up what they could to contribute to this campaign, and they felt robbed by the process. And so, we're lawyers. We bring cases against companies of all sorts when they engage in deceptive conduct, and I don't think the DNC is any different from any other corporation that engages in fraud, and so that's why we were happy to bring this case, and we're happy to litigate it because we think it's just so important to the political system. As to what people can do for this case, well, we filed it as a class action, so that means that at some point we're going to ask the court to certify it as a class action, which means that if that happens, notice would go out to all of the class members in a court-approved form. And we haven't reached that stage yet, but in the meantime, we have a lot of people that have already volunteered to put their name on this case, and we've got over 100 people just on the caption itself, so we really don't need anybody right now for that particular role, but certainly just by staying abreast of the case and following it. We have a website and a Facebook page that we keep updated with all the documents.
Sorry, can you mention your website?
Yeah, what's the website?
The website is jampac, JAMPAC.us.
Jampac.us.
.us, and if you go there, there is a page called DNC Fraud Lawsuit, which has all the documents.
Okay.
We also have a Facebook page called DNC Fraud Lawsuit, which, if you're on Facebook, it's a good way to join and get updates about documents as they're filed, and we put everything up there so everybody has a chance to look at what's been filed, news coverage as it comes out. So I would just say stay on top of it, and if you happen to be in South Florida or nearby, and there's a hearing, feel free to come by and watch what's going on. That's one of the best ways you can participate as a member of the public, as an interested member of the public, is to come by, come to court. We had a number of people in court today following the proceedings. I think it's always very important whenever there's an important hearing, in any case, for people in the public to come by and see what's going on, because in the federal courts we can't do video or live streaming. In state court you can sometimes do that, but unfortunately we can't do like a court TV type setup with this. So if people want to know what's going on and see the actual action in the court, they're going to have to come personally. So that's a great way of participating. If you happen to be in Florida, or maybe you're here for some reason, that's a good way too. But otherwise, if you're not, come by the Facebook page. We really are trying to do our best to put up a lot of information, and there's also good discussions that happen among the people in the comments about the papers that they get filed, so you can sort of join in that way. But that's the best way to really stay involved at this point, because it's going to be a long process, and I truly believe that the more public support that is shown and the more that people support us, it makes us feel better as attorneys, and it really gives us a lot of energy, and it gives us a lot of sustenance, because we're ultimately doing it for everybody out there.
Well, you have 150 people tuning in right now, and you have hundreds of comments saying thank you for fighting for us. We appreciate everything you're doing, and they're putting your website up on the comments as we're speaking, because this is live streaming. Wow. The only other question we have is, when and if the burden of proof is there, and we prove that you prove actually that this is fraud, then how does that affect the outcome of the Democratic National Convention results of 2016? Can it be overturned? Can it affect change at the political level, or is this just kind of like setting precedent? What is this?
Those are such good questions, and honestly, I don't know that we're at a stage of the proceedings where I can provide anything specific on that. I will say that we are asking for very considerable damages in this case, just based on the sheer number.
Can you tell us how much, or no?
Well, all you have to do is go look at
we'll check it out.
How many millions of dollars, was donated to Bernie.
Right.
And you think about all those people that donated that money, believing that we have a fair democratic primary process in this country. And then if we come in and we prove that process was actually fraudulent, then our position is that we have a very, very strong damages claim just for that money alone. Wow. We're also asking for injunctive relief because, my personal belief, as someone that's very concerned about the political situation in this country, is that it's not just about the damages. The damages are a very important part, but we're also talking about a political system that I think a lot of people in this country believe is in a state of crisis right now.
We are.
And we just have to look at our current general election and what people feel on both sides of the candidates for that general election and how that's coming across. And so I would say this is, in many ways, this is a very long-term case that we're looking at. We're hoping to get real changes made to how the DNC conducts business, because from my point of view, and I think the point of view of so many people, we can't conduct elections like this anymore. Right. We're not going to have a democracy. DNC can't do this every year. The RNC can't do this every year. We need real primaries in this country which are fair and which don't pick sides. And so that's one of the things that we're going to push through for in this case, alongside all of the other forms of relief that we're seeking. And as I said, it's a long process, but we're going to try to keep everybody updated. We're going to try to put as much information out there, and we look forward to everybody participating, following us in whatever way they can, because I think this is a case that has a lot of meaning, and it could have a lot of ramifications.
Of course, I'm assuming that maybe even you're not a constitutional lawyer, but it could even change our Constitution in the sense of Citizens United being, it could even stem into there, or maybe maybe criminal ramifications of anything or so. We thank you again for taking your time to talking with us. And again, I think you have a question?
What is the next step or the next scheduled date?
Yeah, what's the next court date?
So we're expecting the court to issue a ruling shortly. We'll be filing what are called post-hearing memorandums with the courts on certain issues that came up during the hearing, and we'll of course make those available on our website so people can read those. And then, I don't know exactly what time frame the court has in mind for its ruling, but I wouldn't expect it to be too long from now. And once we get the court's order, it will give us the guidance for the next step.
Okay, fantastic. And one last time, what is the website? Jampack?
Jampack, JAMPAC.US.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything you did.
Thank you
Pleasure
so much.
Pleasure to meet you. No problem.
Thank you so much. Thanks for covering us. Really.
No, we will keep covering it. We're from South Florida, so we will.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Thank you for everything.
What's your site called?
This is Viva Bernie.
Viva Bernie. Okay.
It's a Facebook page.
Okay.
And we also have multiple groups united.
Awesome.
So yeah, Progressive Alliance. We have Republicans, Democrats. We have everybody here.
Oh, fantastic. So it's like a burner.
Yeah, we're Bernie supporters.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for what you're doing, and
we'll keep hope alive.
We will. We will keep our revolution.
The revolution continues. This is just part of it. I know there's a lot of people taking all the passion from Bernie and direct, because we have to do what we can, and it's great to see it. I think if we all take that passion and keep our eyes on the future, we're in a good place.
I agree. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your words of encouragement. Have a wonderful week.
Okay, thank you so much.
Alright guys, so it was an amazing interview. I think we got plenty of information, and if anything, it gives us tons of encouragement to keep going. Viva Bernie, and let's keep going strong, and what can I say, this is just an amazing day. It's the beginning to a long road, but if we stay together, we can do this. I will post pictures coming shortly. Thank you so much for your time.